Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back again to another video tutorial lesson from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. My name is Apex Elenio, your aspiring professional pool player and pool instructor based here in the small island of Jamaica. Now, this is a very exciting video, one in which I was very poised to produce for you. It did take a good length of time to really produce this video and the quality, so I hope that you really do appreciate this. In this particular video, we are in fact going to be talking about the end game positional play shot. That particular shot that comes up a lot of the times when you have to play two cushions to get back down from one side of the table or one ear of the table to the other side for position. Particularly, we're going to be focusing mainly on using various spins and observing what happens with the cue ball when it comes off multiple cushions, and how we can actually improve our cue ball control, track the positional play, and in fact having very good idea of our visualization when it comes to these particular shots. So of course, if this is the first time here on the channel, consider smashing that subscribe button below. Do not forget to turn on your post notification bell, leave some positive questions and comments down below, and of course do not forget to smash that like button. It does help the channel to grow. Of course, do not forget to share this out to your pool groups, pool fraternities, Facebook groups, so that others can learn from what I have been discovering through my training sessions here. Alright, so here we go. Of course, I have placed the one ball, or my object ball, pardon me, about a half a diamond above the spot, and I've placed the cue ball at an approximate angle of around 45 degrees. Not exactly 45, but it's very close. And what I'll be doing here is that I'll be tracking the cue ball's path of two cushions when using various types of spin. I'm going to be focusing mainly on vertical axis of the cue ball. Then I'm going to be playing around with left spin and right spin and see how the cue ball reacts off the cushion. Alright, so here we go. Let's get right into it. Alright, so first thing here that I'll be looking at is the tangent line shot here, where I'll be using a medium soft speed center ball. And what you'll see me doing here on screen there is that I'm predicting the tangent line, provided that my cue ball is hit purely in the center. If it slides upon contact with the object ball, which in this case is the one ball, it should take a two cushion route taking me towards the two ball there down. That was a medium soft speed, and that's a really nice speed to control the cue ball in and around the middle of the table. And as you can see there on the replay, it did in fact hit exactly where I wanted it to hit, and that was really perfect. Now we're going into shot 2 here, where I'm going to be testing for consistency, but I'm going to be amping up the speed of the stroke here. I'm going to be playing with center, so I can actually take the same cue ball's path but getting more down table for position. So a little bit more speed on that, and that cue ball definitely went towards the middle diamond on the third rail. So we're going to be using that as a marker for the remaining part of this video, so we can use that as a guide to knowing where the cue ball will go if we hit with various other types of spin. Now for shot number 2, well, shot number 3, I'll be doing a stun follow shot. And what this means for me here, as you will see me demonstrating on screen, I'm recalculating where the tangent line is approximately going to be. It's probably going to be around the first diamond there or thereabout. Now from here, you'll see that I am now estimating where the stun follow will bring me. And that means if I hit with stun follow with a smooth stroke and a quality delivery of the cue, I should head maybe above the tangent line, coming two cushions, which carries me more down table towards the short rail without touching the third rail. Now this shot is really a powerful shot that you need to have in your game, because of course a lot of the times you may have traffic in the middle of the table and you may have to go behind the positional zone. So that's definitely one that you need to have in the bag. Now again, I'm just going to be using force follow here, which will allow the cue ball now to head a little bit down further nearest to the side pocket. With the stun follow, the cue ball goes a little bit longer and it will tend to have a bit more speed when it comes off the rail. Now it's a kind of a risky shot because you can scratch into the side if you're very unlucky. So that's something that you definitely want to be very much aware of when it comes to that particular shot. Now again, I'll be using follow, but this time I won't be using any force. I'm just be rolling the cue ball into the object ball, and it should take the natural path that will take me one rail down towards the end of the table. So 3 very important shots that you guys definitely need to put some practice in. There are various ways to get position onto an object ball, so it's very important you understand, especially the 2-rail positional route when it comes to this. Alright, now I'll be moving on next to the stun follow here, and based on where the chalk is, if I play with true stun, I should come very close towards where my tangent line is, maybe just a hair below the tangent line. But I know earlier that with center ball, the cue ball heads towards the second diamond on the long rail, on the third rail. So with stun, I should come in a little bit sharper towards the 4. Now you'll see that I did end up hitting the same position that I hit with center, and that is simply because after playing with stun, the cue ball may have picked up some follow. I may not have hit that ball purely enough for the slide to hit the object ball upon contact, so I may have picked up a bit of follow. But I'm going to give it another try again here, playing with stun draw, pardon me. I should actually get the cue ball to come in a bit sharp off the angle, and that's much better there, coming in towards maybe a little bit below the 3rd diamond. So you can see that I kind of put a little bit more drawn to that, and the angle coming off the 2nd cushion was a bit more acute, taking me in towards the 3rd diamond a bit more. For consistency purposes, guys, I definitely want to do these shots over and over. Sometimes when we get a little bit too saucy on the shot and we try to overdo the shot, for example, in that way there, I would have missed that shot horribly because I tried to put too much draw and too much speed, and I guess with too much speed the cue ball tends to deflect and causes the object ball to miss. But just correcting myself there again, testing for consistency, that draw stroke there was a much purer. May have had a trace of right accidentally, but you can see that it head pretty close to where I kind of wanted it to head. Alright, so that was really nice here. Now I'll be looking to play here with some high left spin, and you can see that I'm actually doing my cue ball prediction before I actually go down to play my shot. It's very important that your visualization of spin is intact, and this can only be achieved if it is that you understand the concept of center ball. Now with high left here, the cue ball will head above the tangent line, maybe about a half a diamond above. Based on this replay, you'll see that the cue ball heads about a half a diamond above or 3/4 of a diamond above, and with that high left spin, the cue ball heads a little bit long, hitting that 2nd diamond and heading down towards the 3rd diamond closest to the pocket there. Now I'll place a 3 ball, and I'm going to be testing for consistency here. If I did hit the cue ball in fact at about 11 o'clock as indicated on my cue ball marker, you'll see that the cue ball will head very close to that zone. So I didn't really get the pinpoint precision, but you want to also be very much aware that once you have a zone for which you think the cue ball might be going into, that will help you to be more precise with your positional play. And of course, you must be able to have the right stroke speed to maintain proper cue ball control. Now I'll be moving on next here to using some center left, and center left pretty more or less gives me a little bit like what center ball will give me, but with that left spin coming off the second cushion, it picks up a bit of extra speed, and the angle is a little bit more acute coming in towards the third diamond. This shot you have to be very careful, because if you use too much left spin, you may even scratch into the side, as you will see closely that almost happened. And again, you have to be very aware of how much spin you use. You're trying to use enough spin, not too much but not too little, because you can see that after catching that second rail, you see it had an extra kick coming off that second diamond. That second rail, pardon me. I'm not so certain as to why I would ever try to use this spin to get position, but you never can tell when something may come up, and you may need to be very much aware of that shot and have it in your arsenal. For consistency purposes, I'm going to be testing it again, center left, and you can see therefore that that particular shot will get me close towards the third diamond, or very close to the side pocket for position. So it's good that we can have these kind of shots in our arsenal. Alright, so center left there on that cue ball. Alright, of course guys, if you are enjoying the video so far and you have learned something new, of course do not forget to smash the subscribe button below. Of course, I welcome your comments, suggestions, thoughts down into the comment section below. Moving on to another spin here, we're going to be using maximum low left spin, and you will find that a lot of the times a lot of these shots are very similar. You'll find that sometimes you'll use center left and you'll also use low left, and you kind of hit the same position on the third rail. But what makes the difference between the shots most of the time is the actual speed coming off the second rail. Now take for example here, I'm using low left, so I'm obviously expecting the cue ball to go below the tangent line. Clearly I would have used a bit too much spin there. The stroke was not really completed, had a lot of deflection, so I kind of missed my first attempt. But let's give it another try here. That was beautifully done. With the low spin there, you'll see that the cue ball arcs a bit more, and then it brings me down rail with a lot more control. There you can see it hits maybe close to the tangent line, and when it comes off the second cushion, it's very acute with the angle. And with low spin, I have a lot more control on the cue ball. When I'm using center left, the cue ball tends to have a bit more kick. Now notice that that kind of reflects the shot that I had played with center left, hitting close to that third diamond. But you can see that I have a little bit more control with the low spin. With the center left, it has a lot more kick coming off the second cushion and also off the third cushion. Now I'll be moving on to some high right spin here, and with this particular shot, this is a very nice shot when you want to go two rails down towards the end of the table. This shot is also an ideal shot when you have a position on that you have to play for the side pocket. So notice here that with the right spin here, I catch the rail and hit about the second diamond into the short rail and back out to the middle of the table. So this may be something that you definitely want to add to your game. If you notice that during my stroke, I'm always keeping a log of where this cue ball is actually going. Now I'm moving more here towards center right, and with center right now, you see that I get a lot more effect off the first rail with center right. Now notice in the delivery here that I catch again very close towards where stun follow would have brought me, and then with the spin it kicks off the first rail and arcs the angle coming in towards the second rail, giving me a kick speed here. Now with center right and a medium soft speed, I kind of have a little bit more control with the spin. Now once I execute this shot here, you'll notice during the delivery that the spin brings me above the side pocket, and I maintain control for the middle of the table. So I think that's a really good shot to have in the bag. Alright, I'm going to be using center right here, but this time I'm going to be using a little bit more speed. So I'm looking here now to adjust. Now because I will have a bit more deflection on my cue ball when I hit the cue ball harder, I have to do a lot more compensation. So I know that with right spin here, right, I should be able to actually catch very close towards the middle, in between the middle of the first diamond and the second diamond. And if I use a bit more spin, it tends to go a little bit longer down table. Let's have a look at the replay here. Center right, in between, spinning, catching above the side pocket here, and heading down lower than the previous shot. Now I'm going to be using maximum right spin here, but with a hard speed. And again, when you use a hard speed, a hard stroke, the cue ball heads more closer towards the tangent line. Now notice here that I hit it a bit wider and the spin went into a contrary direction, which, as I said, also is another way to maintain control. Now I'm going to be increasing the speed here. Well, in fact, I think I've done quite a lot of shots on that one. I really wasn't sure about how consistently I was hitting the cue ball, so I had to do multiple attempts on that shot. Now I'll be using low right here. And so low right now will again catch very close towards the middle of the table. Again, when you're using these types of spin, and this is an uncut version for the video, guys, I'm not taking out my missed shots. I'm not trying to let the video look perfect. It's okay for you to understand why misses takes place. This is my second attempt with a medium soft speed and maximum low right. Again, it kind of gives me the same reaction that center right would have given me. But notice that with the low spin, then the cue ball will in fact kick and bring me down table a little bit more. With the right spin will, you're more to lose control of the cue ball if you're not careful about how much you put in. Now I'm going to be using here low right again, but I'm going to be again increasing the speed, and you'll notice that when the cue ball was hit, it arced close towards the tangent, then it just died, literally like a check, like the cue ball check into that area there, hitting the tangent line. So that's also a kill stroke that you can use. Very useful shot. Alright, again, just testing for consistency, using a bit of low right, but this time with a medium soft speed, and it's more or less giving me the same reaction. So I know that I'm actually hitting the cue ball where I'm aiming, and also maintaining control on my cue ball. Alright, so hopefully this is something that you may have known, you may not have known. I think that this is really good to understand how the cue ball reacts with various types of spin. And so we're going to be moving on now to attempt number 5. I'm going to be using the low spin again, but I'm going to minimize the amount of spin, and I'm going to use a soft medium speed. So here we go. I'm going to be aiming more towards the draw section of the cue ball, and you can see that I kind of controlled the cue ball to stay more into mid table here. Now with this medium soft speed, I don't have as much spin, so as it touches the first wheel, it kind of died, and the spin kind of died with the movement of the cue ball. So various attempts there, various results, and like I said, guys, once you have these in your arsenal, you will most likely will be able to play better positions going forward. Now, as I bring you it here to the end of the video, I tried a couple of positional shots, but I think it was a bit too much. I actually didn't realize that the video was this long, so I tried to use what I just learned to play position on certain shots. Particularly, I was trying to play position on the 9 ball that would have remained on the break spot, but it didn't really work out, so I kind of brought the video to an end. But I do hope that you actually learned something from this, and you can take away from here something that you can add to your skill set. Alright, so I do thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Ensure that you put practice in. Do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. Be a student of the game, but be very open to being a student of your own game. Alright? So thank you so much for watching. And until next time, as I always say, consistency, precision, accuracy, and control is exactly what you need to bring you to the next level. So until then, take care. Bye bye.